CTV News with Michael O'Byrne and Leanne Cusack.
More than 40 firefighters on the scene of a major blaze just east of Ottawa's downtown core. We are there live. And we'll have the very latest from the quake zone in Japan, where the radiation scare continues to grow.
We'd like you to meet Angie and Graham. Together they've lost a combined 100 pounds and about 23% of body fat. Tony Greco is going to tell you why their stories have inspired him and should inspire you.
About 45 firefighters.
He's Greco, and he's lean and fit, and we're here at Greco Lean and Fit, actually, with some success stories. And so often I ask Tony to find people I feel will resonate with viewers, because everyone will be able to relate to their stories. Sometimes they're from your program, sometimes they're just people you've met or who have called you who have their own personal stories.
Right.
Why have you chosen Angie, who you're about to meet, and Graham, who you're about to meet?
Well, I mean, some great success. Obviously, the energy, now that they have the inches they have lost, and just being their real selves again. And that's what's really fascinating, is where they can share that with other people.
Well, Graham, I said earlier, actually, that combined you have lost, you just met moments ago, but combined you've lost 100 pounds. How much of that 100 pounds is yours?
It'd be 30 pounds.
Okay, now we have some before pictures of you. And
That's not me, it's her.
Yeah, you sent the before pictures describing the fact that you were actually active.
Obese. Active obese.
So how can you be active obese? Tell us about that.
That's a good question.
You played hockey.
Played a lot of hockey, active with my kids.
But how were you feeling?
Well, I felt terrible. I mean, my eating was horrible. I mean, I was eating, typically once a day. I'd skip breakfast, skip lunch. Sit down in the evening, have a big snack, have a big meal.
And it just sort of crept on.
And just every year it seems like, there's 2 pounds or 5 pounds that never leave. So no matter what you do, it seems to creep up over the years.
So now the pounds are gone. You're still working on things?
Well, I'm pretty spoiled, to be able to lose it in a 5-week period. I mean, all the abuse over years. It's, I got to thank Tony and the people at the Beach Street Greco, and especially the trainers, Metzier, Marty, and Daniela, who were absolutely phenomenal. I haven't worked out in 18 years, so I thought I was in shape.
People will like hearing that. You haven't worked out in 18 years, and you've lived to tell the tale.
And I made up for it in 5 weeks. Wow.
Okay. We're going to move over to Angie. Stay put, because I know Tony is going to want to keep you there and maybe show off some great exercises. Angie, your story is different than Graham's. What was going on with you?
Well, the weight gain, it started a long time ago, actually about 10 years ago. I had a kind of a major operation that required me to be inactive for a little while, and I just didn't change my lifestyle at all, and the weight started creeping up again. And I tried doing certain things like running, martial arts, but it was always, my joints were hurting, it was bothering my asthma, so I just decided,
And it's discouraging. If you hurt and you can't breathe, you really aren't motivated to exercise.
It is.
So what was different?
I think this time I was just ready. And what I found at Greco, the trainer I have, Luke, hi Luke, I don't know if he might be watching, I don't know.
You got the bouquet.
Anyway, he just, he challenged me to a point that I've never been challenged before. And he listens to my whining and complaining, and he doesn't let up on me. And he's just very tenacious and gentle, and I owe a lot to him.
I've only known you for 10 minutes. You don't strike me as a whiner or a complainer. But we looked at your before picture, and before to after, you have lost how many pounds?
So far, 70.
Wow. And the fun for you, you said, is A, not having sore joints, but you're enjoying shopping.
It gets a little expensive, but it's kind of fun.
So I now have you here, and Tony is going to be taking your calls and questions in a very short while at 613-750-1211 or 1-888-750-1211. But if you had one bit of advice to give someone out there who is feeling as unmotivated as you are about, why they should take that first step, what would it be?
My goodness. Well, you have to invest in yourself, and you have to be positive about it. They'll give up very easily, but you shouldn't give up on yourself. Just keep trying.
Good advice. Graham, give the last word to you, and then a lot of words to Tony. What would you tell people?
If only one thing, I'd say you deserve it. Oh. Do it for you.
Oh my gracious. What?
Wow.
They're motivational speakers as well. When we come back, Tony is going to motivate all of us. Thank you. Congratulations. And I know that spring is here, so the shopping season might just, you'll recognize Angie in the mall. And we want to thank you both. When we come back, Tony's going to take your calls and fitness questions. We're just trying to do the math here. We just realized that Graham, who we introduced you to, lost 4 inches in 5 weeks, and we were trying to remember exactly what body fat percentage, but
it was over 30.
He's so motivated. Anthony Robbins, watch out, hey? We're taking your calls and questions now. If you have any fitness questions for Tony Greco, the numbers to call, 613-750-1211 or 1-888-750-1211. We have Terry on the line. Hi there, Terry.
Hi.
Hi,
Terry.
What would you like Tony to help with?
I've lost 140 pounds, almost 150 actually. And I went to one fitness place, and they had me doing too heavy weights, which hurt my joints. And so I'm doing little wee weights at home, but I was wondering if I could get back into some type of weightlifting routine, because obviously after losing that much weight, I would need something.
Yeah, you could. Remember that the dieting is very, very important. I'm sure you've learned a lot, obviously, with your success of your weight. So, again, you don't have to go super heavy, but absolutely. I mean, whatever you can do would be great to combine that with proper eating, so that we got a really good balance.
And you know, it's interesting that you've raised that, because you always say 70% of it, 70, sometimes 80%.
Absolutely.
80% is diet, even more than fitness.
Yeah.
So your joints are hurting, you're wanting to do some weight training, but even if she maintains, can she do light weights?
Yeah, you could do light weights there, and you could also use your own body weights as resistance, which is obviously the easiest way to, contract and build muscle. And then when you feel a lot stronger, you could always incorporate. So you have a really good way of monitoring yourself.
Good luck and congratulations. You don't need luck. We have either
great.
Lori or Corey on the line. Hi, Lori.
Hi
Your
there.
question for Tony.
Hi, Lori.
Hi, Lori. Yeah, hi, Tony.
What would you like us to help you with?
My question is, I've just been diagnosed with hypothyroidism, and I've put on about 10 to 15 pounds in the last year, and I've never gained weight before in my life. I've heard that it's really, really hard to get rid of the weight once you start taking Synthroid or any of the other meds for this. So I'm just wondering if there is anything specific I should be doing for exercise and working out that could make a noticeable difference for weight loss for me.
Excellent question, and I think this applies to so many women. We're hearing about a lot of thyroid conditions right now.
Yes, and you know what? It's so important, A, that you, first of all, continue and start exercising, and B, is always, there's a lot of good naturopath doctors, and there's a lot of good doctors out there that can definitely steer you properly in that way, so that way you could really continue your success and start an exercise regime.
Is there an exercise in particular? Should she be doing cardio? Should
one of
she
the
be doing
things
weights?
is the cardiovascular workouts, from what I've seen from a lot of my members that had very similar situations, has helped the best. Cardiovascular exercises.
Okay. Good luck with that. And also, just wanting to let you know, we had Lorna Vanderheg on the program not too long ago, and there's a website called hormonehelp.com that might offer some information on thyroid. We have Lucille on the line. Hi there, Lucille.
Hi.
Hi. What can Tony help you with?
I am 70 years old, and I would like to wear sleeveless dresses or cap sleeve dresses.
Good for you.
Beautiful.
And I want to know how to reinforce my upper arm.
Oh, I'm so glad you called, because this is a question we always get at this time of year. Everyone's thinking spring and summer.
Yeah.
What can Lucille do for that muscle underneath?
There's a lot of exercise you can do. I mean,
grab a weight.
Obviously, yeah, and I mean, any upper body workout is going to challenge them. You know, your basic push-up, I mean, you could do what we call tricep extensions. Really easy. Look, rest the weight on your shoulder and just extend it back and forth. You could superset that by just the way we're sitting, just a simple dip. So you're challenging the back of your arms. There's so many different variations of movements.
What about the push-ups
and your
against the
push-ups,
wall?
for sure. The push-up against the wall, lean nice and close, and then extending. And take your time. Don't do it so fast, because you really want to isolate that area.
So, Lucille, stand up against the wall, and instead of doing a push-up on the floor, just do push-ups against the wall.
That's it.
Good luck for you. That's excellent. We look forward to seeing you this summer in the sleeveless. We have Vicky on the line. Vicky.
Morning.
Hi,
Good morning.
Zicky. I'm sorry, it's Zicky with a Z, I was just told.
Hi, Zicky.
No, it's Vicky with a V.
Oh, it's Vicky with a V. I was incorrectly told. Sorry about that. And I have a sister, Vicky. Go ahead, Vicky.
I was just wondering how I could lose the weight without having a flappy stomach. You know what, having your skin hang in and things like that?
That's a good question.
Well, one of the things you can do is always tie in cardiovascular exercises and then weight-bearing exercise, because the weight will tighten and stretch that area. And you know what? I've seen a lot of people that have made an amazing transformation. So it's just a matter of sticking to it, getting to that certain level where, again, you have to intensify the exercises combining weight and cardio.
Well, you know, I'm so glad, Vicky, you asked this question. It was really funny because one of Tony's assistants, Michelle, just popped her head in. She lost 100, and she's about not even 5 feet, I don't think, or maybe about 5 feet. She lost 125 pounds and did it without any of that. That's what I said. I said, where are your stretch marks and where's your flabby skin?
And there's been a few people like that. It's just a matter, everybody's obviously built different because of genetics, but what happens is once you get to that point, you intensify exercise, you could really see the way your body holds on to that extra weight.
Diet is the most important. And we don't mean diet in terms of deprivation. We mean nutrition.
Yes, healthy lifestyle modification with good, proper choices.
So make sure you get the nutrients. We want to thank you. Tony Greco joins us on a regular basis to take your calls and questions and to get you into that warm weather clothes.
The headlines in history today.